edition on Friday of the Sports Minion Radio Show. Welcome and hello. So glad to see you. So glad to have you as part of our show here. Hopefully everything is working. I'm not sure if there we go. Okay, now we got. I was waiting for Facebook to come up. Took a minute, but we're here. We're good to go. Everybody's here. All right. So I would like to welcome you to the first Friday edition of the Sports Minion Radio Show. Hello, everybody. I am D to the J with the roll away. You have known me for many, many weeks as we had combined the Sports Minion Radio show with CP Topics, but now the Sports Minion Radio Show is all by itself. Yeah, it is all by itself. Okay, that's the end of the singing notes for me. I hope everybody is having a wonderful Friday evening. We're going to get right into sports here, but the one thing that I want to talk about, and I want to, kind of go over, is this going to be a football season? Is there going to be a season of any kind? Because with the coronavirus going on, we're now 3 days away from teams with new coaches are supposed to start their off-season spring program, but they can't start it because of this lovely coronavirus that we've got going around. And we're trying to determine if this is going to be what it actually is. So we don't really know whether or not, how this is going to be. So, I look at it and I'm like, okay, what are we going to do? You've got all these teams with, Dwayne Haskins and the Redskins. You've got Tom Brady that's now gone to Tampa Bay. You've got, for $50 million. So, new head coach. You're talking about all of this, teams that are under new head coaches. What's going to happen? So we're trying to figure out that, but we're also trying to figure out the big story of the day is Tua. And I hope I can say it, Tupa Tagovailoa. I hope I said that right. The quarterback from Oklahoma. Now here's the thing. Everything has come back okay with his hip. And he has seen the doctors and they've done a preliminary check. There was one doctor that was representing the NFL to do the rechecks and all that, and everything passed with flying colors. Now, the thing you've got to worry about, though, and what we're looking at is this going to be something that our team's going to be, how can I put this, skeptical to pick up Tua? Because I'm telling you right now, he's the best quarterback in the draft. I think Tua is going to be the one to really show what he's got. And his receivers, Ruggs, will be one, and then the other one on the other side, I think it's like Hargrove or something like that. I don't have it pulled up in front of me. But, I mean, there are some fast receivers in this draft, and a lot of teams are needing receivers, and a lot of teams are needing quarterbacks. Now the question is, what is Miami going to do at 5? Because we know the Redskins are probably going to go Chase Young. If they don't go Chase Young, are they going to go Tua? The problem here is with that, you can't pass up Chase Young. Number one, it's too valuable of a pick to pass up a pass rusher of that, and he's better than Bosa and the other big pass rusher that was drafted. Apparently, I mean, from what I've been hearing, Chase Young is the man. He's a beast when it comes to being able to do all the fundamentals of the pass rush and get pressure on the quarterback. Now, the question that I have, you've got Love as a quarterback, you've got Tua as a quarterback, you've got Chase as a quarterback. Not Chase. Goodness gracious! Oh, the other, I can't think of his name. Number one that's supposed to be over Tua, which he's really not. But I mean, that's just my opinion. Looking at, going from, I think it's Daniels is the other one. Let me get my score pulled up here, and I'll tell you in just a moment. As far as quarterbacks are going, you got to figure out, what's gonna happen with Tua, and what is Miami going to do at 5? Are they going to go for Love? I mean, Love would be a good fit for them I mean, as far as that's concerned, I mean, you've got Philip Rivers going to the Colts. I mean, good Lord, Breeze getting a 2-year extension, Brady getting the $50 million extension. Um, I mean, there's a lot going on, and of course now Nick Foles is the guy oh, where did he get signed? Lord have mercy. Um, Nick Foles has gone to the Jaguars. I mean, as far as they're saying that Manchu. I mean, the mustache guy is going to be the quarterback. What a Manchu or whatever his name is. Wow, this show's going to be great. Sorry. I'm looking at it, but I'm thinking, you spend this money on Foles, but you say that you know that that Manchu's going to be your guy. I don't see it. I mean, Foles is much better. I mean, but looking at and Minnesota now has traded their top in my estimation. You trade your top two receivers. They still have Thielen, but they have traded. Let me go with this story here. I want to get it pulled up. I mean, Adam Thielen is the only guy. Xavier Rhodes was one that they traded, and then Stephon Diggs was the other one. And you're looking at, you've got two top receivers that you've gotten rid of. I mean, you're gonna have to go for a receiver in the draft. You've got rid of, in my estimation, you're one and at least your three. You're one and at least your three of your top two guys. How in the heck do you not go for a receiver in the draft? I mean, as far as that's concerned, I mean, Minnesota's going to be in trouble. Henry got the franchise tender, so we know that. Gilbert's going to be the backup to back up Brady. Cam Newton has not gone anywhere. Aldon Smith, that's a name we haven't heard in a while, has now signing a 4-year deal. And the other Smith from San Francisco actually signed with the Cowboys if he gets reinstated. I mean, so there's a lot going on. Clowney talking to the Jets and the Titans. Is he going to be re-signed? Now, the problem with Clowney is he wants a lot of money. He wants a lot of money, and the teams aren't willing to pay that. I mean, I don't see. I mean, Clowney. I think Seattle's actually going to work something out with Clowney, hopefully, because you want to see him sign and you want to see him come back. And you look at Hopkins leaving Houston, and then Arizona trading trading Johnson. I'm looking at, or excuse me, Foles went to Chicago. That's where Foles went. I'm sorry about that. I was trying to pull up the story there, and it took a minute. Manchu is the guy in Jacksonville, so that I got my stories crossed there, and I apologize about that. Foles going to Chicago, that right there, they're done with Trubisky. That Trubisky era is finished. They're not going to have anything to do with him. He's going to be the backup. Foles is going to be the guy, and everybody's saying, are they going to bring him in for competition? I'm telling you, Trubisky's not going to outthrow Foles. I don't think he's better than him. So I mean, you're looking at that. You've got to see the big issue right now. We've got guys that are working out on their own, trying to get a hold of everything, trying to get keep themselves in shape. Brown's son, Claiborne, to a 2-year deal worth $6 million. Now I've got something here on Cam Newton, and I want to pull this up because it looks like he may have a new team with most NFL team set as their starting quarterback. Cam Newton is a player without a home. The Carolina Panthers released Newton after signing Teddy Bridgewater to be their starter, and the club haven't rushed to sign the former MVP. His market could be stagnant due to the fact that he's coming off foot surgery and the coronavirus, which pandemic is preventing teams from evaluating players with their own doctors. So where would Newton end up? The Los Angeles Chargers are the clear favorites to land Newton because there's another team further down the further down the road there that makes more sense. So Los Angeles, Jacksonville, Miami could go there. Denver could definitely go. I'm surprised that Denver hasn't. The Washington Redskins is an option, but I don't think that's going to happen. Las Vegas Raiders and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, again, you're talking to me because I don't. Now they're saying the Chargers, but he wouldn't go. He's not going to go as a backup. That doesn't make sense to me at all. I look at this whole situation, and it's going to throw. I think this virus is going to throw training camp off. I think it's going to throw the spring program. I don't think there's going to be one because everything right now is just shut down everywhere, and that's the thing. With what Robert Kraft did for the mask, sending the mask over to China on his own personal private plane, and then additional mask and paying for over half of that with his own money. That's really, you're looking at a great guy. Brady doing the Meals Up for Wheels up there, trying to get meals out to everyone. That's just, guys, you got to go and donate to these organizations because, like the Red Cross and all of this, they need blood. And these guys that are doing these organizations, Tom Brady with Meals Up for Wheels Up, all that, go and donate to these fabulous organizations because it does take money to get them to run. Be sure to volunteer. You can do a lot of things from home and research these options because it's really good. I got to tell you, and from here, the Patriots doesn't look like the Patriots are interested in signing Newton. So really, I'm looking at this trying to figure out where everybody's going to go. You still got free agents that are out there. Where's Winston going to go? We got, looking at 10 free agents right now that can impact teams. Let me pull these up for you. Got quite a few. You got Ryan Tannehill of the Tennessee Titans. You got Robert Quinn, Joe Schobert, offensive tackle, Battaglia for the Detroit Lions, Trey Waynes for the Cincinnati Bengals, the quarterback, Michael Brockers of the Los Angeles Rams, the defensive tackle, Eric Flowers, Miami Dolphins, Randall Cobb, he went to Houston Texans, 3 years, $27 million. So now where these guys have went, and the contract for Tannehill, 4 years, $118 million. Robert Quinn, contract go to the Chicago Bears, he's 5 years, $70 million. Joe Schobert, again, the Jacksonville Jaguars, contract $53.75 million. Battaglia went to the Detroit Lions. Trey Waynes went to the Cincinnati Bengals, 3 years, $42 million. Michael Brockers, Los Angeles Rams, 3 years, $31.5 million. Eric Flowers, Miami Dolphins, that's a surprising one right there, $30 million for him. Randall Cobb, I'm surprised that Dallas let him go. Houston Texans, 3 years, $27 million. Melvin Gordon, Denver Broncos, that's a good pickup for them. 2 years, $16 million. Great, great, great pick. Jimmy Graham, Chicago Bears, that's gonna help out Foles a lot. Having that tight end to come across the middle, 2 years, $16 million. There's a lot right there. All right, so we've got all of these, free agents, and we've got all of this stuff going on. Where does all of this apply in the NFL world? Because we got to look at right now, the big thing we got to look at is, are we going to have a season? The answer is, I don't know. Is this thing going to be done by August? I hope so. Can we get a preseason in there? Are we going to get training in at all? I hope so, because I hope that the world can realize that this thing needs to be taken seriously. I believe that, as we got to unite in this thing. If everybody doesn't take it seriously and stay home like they're supposed to, and people just doing what they want to do, and not looking at this, as, oh wow, this is a big epidemic, we got to take this seriously. It's something that we have to do. If we don't, it's going to be a lot longer, and the social distancing is going to be a lot longer. So, I mean, it's got to be something that people have to come in and say, all right, if we want to have baseball, if we want to have soccer, if we want to have football, if we want to have basketball, we've got to slow this thing down. And the only way we can do that is to stay home. We have got to neutralize this thing the best way we know possible, and that's limited contact with people, that's staying home, that's only going out when you have to get supplies. That doesn't mean hoarding everything, going and hoarding 575 loaves of bread and 1,600 gallons of toilet paper. That means being responsible and realizing that there are other people in the world than you, and to make this happen so that we can actually get back to somewhat of a normal life. Because even when this from their home, from Skype, from Steam, from Zoom, from BeLive. All of these organizations are doing these virtual workouts with virtual meetings with players. I mean, there's only so much you can do in a virtual meeting. So to get this thing back down to where it needs to be, to really say, okay, this is what we've got to do. We have got to nip this thing in the bud, as Barney Fife would say on Andy Griffith, nip it in the bud. That's exactly what we've got to do. We have got to stay home. We have got to wash our hands frequently, stay away from people, only go out when we have to. And we need to do this for 2 to 3 weeks. If we can do this for 2 to 3 weeks, we can knock this thing out. Sports can get back to normal, because even when all this is over, as I was saying, it's going to take a while for people not to be I guess apprehensive would be the best word in saying, look, this has to happen this way. Because if we don't do it and we don't respect what the CDC is saying, we're never going to be the same, because it's got to run its course. As bad as this thing is, we got to find a cure for this thing, but we can't make it worse by being out. So people have to be smart in saying, look, we've got to handle this piece by piece. We've got to handle this the right way. We've got to do it exactly the way we need to do it. Follow the CDC guidelines. Stay in when you have to. Now, as far as training camp is concerned, that's another one. We can't have right now. There are gyms that are allowing. There's a NFL player that is draft eligible that is allowing athletes to work out one at a time, and then and then sanitizing and wiping everything down constantly, which is what he's supposed to do. Now, here's the thing. A lot of athletes right now are working out at home, working out, doing their weightlifting and all of that. There's guys working out on farms trying to stay in shape, because these guys want to be ready to play when this thing is over, so we can jump in this thing and really get it going. Look, I honestly think we're going to get through this thing. I think things are going to be back to normal, but we have to take it seriously. And whatever, and you guys, look, understand that you can still have fun in your household. You can still train in your household. Even looking at karate and martial arts, I'm training Monday and Wednesdays virtually through Zoom for Tiger Martial Arts. If you are interested in training, talk to your instructors, talk to your coaches about virtual training. You can get a one-on-one instructor. You can get ways to actually get out there and train and keep yourself going, keep yourself in shape. Guys, there are workouts on YouTube. There are workouts on TV. There are workouts that you can use. You can rent them. I mean, there are tons of ways to stay in shape. So you have to stay safe. You have to, do what you got to do, because we want to get the sports world and everybody else back to normal. Now, I've been asked a question about Dwayne Haskins. Should Dwayne Haskins be traded in Washington? Let me just talk just a little bit about this as we get ready to end the show. The answer to the question is no. Dwayne Haskins should not be traded. He's only had 1 year. He played 7 games. Let him get some time under his belt. Is Rivera going to trade him? I don't think so. I don't think Rivera knows enough yet to make a decision. We have to decide if Dwayne Haskins is going to be our guy. If he's going to be our guy, we need to commit to him and make sure that we know we are committed. That he knows we are committed to him. We have McLaurin. We have. The new tight end that we signed. We have all of this going on. We got to figure out what we're going to do with Trent Williams. Are we going to get that, that pick for him that we want to get? Of course, we let Quentin Dunbar go, which was, in my mind, was a stupid mistake because we picked up Josh Allen. Now, if we picked up Josh Allen to be a backup and mentor Dwayne Haskins, great. Is Rivera bringing in Josh Allen to be competition for Dwayne Haskins? That is a big possibility. Remember, Josh Allen was in North Carolina. Rivera knows him, and he is comfortable with Josh Allen, and that's something that bothers me. You've got to see that every game Dwayne Haskins played, he seemed to get better. Now, the problem I've said the whole time about all of this, about everything that's going on, it doesn't matter who is back here. If the Redskins do not have a line, and this is the same for any team, because I'm going to talk about Tom Brady in a minute too. If Dwayne Haskins doesn't have a line, if he doesn't have somebody to actually, to have time to throw and actually get his passes out there, he's going to be horrible, and Josh is going to be in the same predicament. So you've got to see what's going to happen there. You got to see what playbook, what offense they're going to run. Remember, the Washington Redskins are now going from a 3-4 to a 4-3. I think they're better with 4 down linemen. I think that's going to run better for them. I think that's one of the reasons they're going after Chase Young. Now, I want to spend the next 8 minutes or so talking about Tom Brady, and here's why. Looking at Tom Brady, he's gone to the Buccaneers. It is official, $50 million for 2 years. The man is getting paid. Okay, he is 45. So let's look at two things here. So and knowing that Tom Brady is here, okay, knowing that Tom Brady is one of the most prolific and smart passers in the game, 6 Super Bowls, but not by himself. Remember, that is all of the Patriots together as one. That is under Bill Belichick and his coaching scheme. What is Brady going to do? Is Brady going to implement his own offense? Is Brady going to be able to have the freedom that he had in New England? Number 2, is Brady going to have the line that he had in New England? Let me address these first 2 questions first. I don't think that Brady is going to have as much freedom. I think he will have some. I think he will, be able to implement some things that work for the team because, again, he's got the experience. He's a 6 Super Bowl winning quarterback. So the coaches are going to say, okay, if this guy, we're bringing this guy in as our heavy hitter, our guy to knock it out of the park, to really go somewhere and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. Brady is going to be the guy in Tampa Bay, and I think he should be. I think their receivers are fast. I don't think they're fast enough. I think their line and their defensive line is okay. They have got to solidify that in the draft, and I think they know that. They have got to get pieces around Brady to where he can get that 2.3 release out quick and get that pass out quick. They're going to do a lot of screens, and defenses are going to prepare for that. Is Brady going to win a Super Bowl with the Bucs this year? I don't think so, and here's the reason why. I think it is going to take time for Tom Brady to gel with his new team. I think it is going to take time for Brady to get acquainted and understand by midseason, they may win 8 or 9 games. They might do that because